Library of Heaven's Path. Chapter 81. I would like to withdraw from your tutelage. Part 1. Hongtian Academy, Lu Sun's classroom. As a star teacher of the academy, his classroom was several hundred meters wide, as big as a massive football field. Students have lined up in rows after rows, and they numbered several hundred. As expected of Lulashi, I have heard rumors outside that innumerable students find it an honor to become your student and they go all out to be admitted under your tutelage, but to think that it would be true. Looking at the number of students in the classroom, an elderly stroked his beard as he looked at a young man not too far away from him. The young man was around 26 to 27-year-old. Dressed in blue, he stood upright as though a spear that would pierce through the heavens, carrying a haughty aura with him. As for the elderly, if Shangbin is here, he would be able to recognize him. He was the master of Hongtian Pavilion, Elder Hong Hao. You have praised me excessively, Elder. I am just fulfilling my responsibility in nurturing them. They have overrated me. The young man chuckled. His words might be humble, but his attitude exuded self-confidence and pride. It is clear to see whether you have been overrated or not just by seeing the standards of the students. I have heard that over 70 of the top 100 students have been admitted into your class after applying for it. Furthermore, of the 200 new students you have accepted, there doesn't seem to be a single one who is placed beneath 500. Elder Hong Hao smiled as he stroked his beard. Yesterday, when he heard the figures, he was also taken aback. Despite being young, this Lu Sunlishi had become the most radiant star teacher in the entire academy. Almost all the good buds among the freshmen had been taken by him. Such results, despite the long history of the academy, was rarely seen. It is my honor for students to be willing to apply for my lessons. Hearing praises from a fighter 7 Dan elder, Lu Sunlishi swelled in pride. After which, turning around, he asked, Elder Hong Hao has always been a busy figure, so what kind of wind brought you here today? Could it be that you have something that requires my help? As long as it is within the scope of my abilities, I will give it my best. He didn't believe that a powerful elder like him would be here just to chat. Speaking of it, there is indeed something that I need to trouble you with. I have been old friends with your father and I watched as you grew up. I know that you are an upright person, so I came here to request you investigate a teacher for me. Elder Hong Hao said. Do not mention my father, he is a stubborn antique. Seeing how the other party was trying to play the emotion card, Lu Sun frowned. Which teacher do you want me to look into? Zhang Xuan. Elder Hong Hao said. After that incident with Zhang Xuan in his Hongtian tavern, his business was now negligible. Rage had already been burning furiously in his heart. If not in consideration for his identity, he would have already ran up to the dwelling of the other party to bash him up. Zhang Xuan? You mean the one who scored 0 for his teacher qualification examination and sent Zhao Yanfan's cultivation berserk? Lu Sun looked over. He had already heard of the various glorious deeds of that Zhang Lishi. Furthermore, he even accepted a student of his, so how could he not be aware of it? Indeed. Elder Hong Hao nodded his head. He is just a trash of a teacher, he would be fired sooner or later. Does Elder have a grudge with him? Lu Sun was puzzled. On one hand was an established elder that could be for the academy's principal position, while on the other, a teacher who could be fired at any moment. The two lived in totally different worlds, so how could they be related to one another? It is just some minor matters. I have heard that the Education Bureau has issued an ultimatum to him. As long as he fails to accept any student this school term, his teaching license will be revoked and he will be expelled from the academy. Thus, I hope to trouble Lulashi to see whether you can accept those students of his under your tutelage. Elder Hong Hao revealed the purpose behind his visit. He had already looked into Zhang Xuan's affairs before heading here, including the fact that he had recruited 5 students this school term. The other party was a teacher and this identity protected him, leaving the elder without a means to deal with him. However, the moment he lost this identity, wouldn't he be his to slaughter? Except under my tutelage. Lu Xun didn't expect the other party to look for him over such a matter. Indeed. As the star teacher of Hongtian Academy, you are probably the only one capable of doing so. As long as you reveal such an intention, his few students would most probably withdraw from his lessons and rush to come under you. Elder Hong Hao chuckled. Dealing with a teacher who has students under him is troublesome. If he has no students under him, then things wouldn't be that complicated. Lu Xun hesitated. There is nothing to hesitate about. Have you forgotten about Zhao Yanfen? If you allow Zhang Xuan to continue teaching the students like that, history will just repeat itself and the lives of his students will be ruined. You are saving them by bringing them over. Elder Hong Hao immediately gave him another push upon seeing his hesitation. All right, I will help you on this matter. I will reveal my intention to accept the students under his tutelage today. Lu Xun nodded his head. Great. Elder Hong Hao's eyes lit up and excitement coursed through his heart. Now that Lu Lishi had agreed to it, he could already clearly vision the disappointed and despairing face of Zhang Xuan. Since he dared to leave Hongtian Pavilion on the verge of closing down, he will slowly play with him and show him what true fear means. Just as he was rejoicing over it in his mind, pondering about what he should do to punish him, a new student rushed over. Lu Lishi. Upon standing before Lu Xun, he knelt down. Wang Yan, what is wrong? Seeing this youngster, Lu Xun smiled and nodded his head. This Wang Yan was one of the few most talented ones of this batch of freshmen. Furthermore, he was the grandson of the second elder of the Wang clan, thus possessing an esteemed position. Even for him, he felt proud to accept a student of such standing. Lu Lishi, I. Wang Yan, who just came over from the Enlightenment Will Tower, knelt onto the floor and he appeared to be conflicted. Have you met with some trouble in your cultivation? Free to speak. Seeing him stutter, Lu Xun spoke grandly. Lu Lishi's knowledge is vast, not to mention that he is the most famous teacher in the entire academy. If you have any difficulties, feel free to speak of it. He is definitely able to solve it for you. Elder Hong Hao said with a smile as he stroked his beard. All right, I will speak then. Wang Yan clenched his jaws and continued, I would like to withdraw from your tutelage. I hope Lu Lishi can fulfill my request. Withdraw from my tutelage. Lu Xun staggered. His eyes widened in disbelief. Other people fought with one another to be admitted under him, and yet this fellow wanted to withdraw from his tutelage. Are you for real? After teaching in Hongtian Academy for numerous years, he had never met with such a situation. Yes. Now that the word was out, Wang Yan heaved a sigh of relief and hurriedly nodded his head. Do you have anything that you find hard to speak of, or were you threatened by someone else? Lu Xun couldn't resist asking. No, this is a choice I made of my own free will. Wang Yan said. You know that after withdrawing from my tutelage, no other teachers in this academy will accept you, right? Hearing that he made the choice out of his own free will, Lu Xun continued on. He was the most famous teacher in the academy. How could any other teachers dare to accept a student who withdrew from his tutelage? As long as I withdraw from your tutelage, I would be able to listen in on Zhang Xuan lessons. This is an opportunity for me, so I hope Lu Lishi can grant my wish. Wang Yan lowered his body. Withdraw from my tutelage to listen in on Zhang Xuan lessons? Hearing those words, a constipated expression appeared on Lu Xun. With his mouth agape and eyes in perfect circles, he felt as though something had gone wrong with the world.